Okay, so when we were together last week, we talked about how increasing the moments in our day that we could open to and express love has an abundance of positive benefits for us. Physically, we talked about that beautiful, wonderful, delightful hormone, oxytocin, because it's released in our body, relaxes us, it reduces stress, it relieves depression, it lowers blood pressure, it reduces pain. And since last week, I discovered another physical benefit of regular, consistent expressions of love, and that is it reduces chronic inflammation. So we know about chronic inflammation. That is not good for any organ in our body, particularly our heart. So the idea that the emotion that we associate with our heart is actually good for our heart. It's good for our heart. It's good for all of the organs, but the tie-in with the heart. We also talked about how increasing the love that we experience makes us more resilient. And these are studies, by the way, that research that's been done right here at UNC. This idea that it makes us more resilient, we are able to flow with life, we meet challenges with strength and assurance. It makes us more optimistic, so we can see the good in life. We're not afraid to move forward in life thinking we're going to make a mistake because we know everything's going to work out eventually, even better than we could ever plan most of the time, right? So we also talked about how we can increase all of these wonderful positive benefits for us by consciously choosing to open to and express love more often. Just that conscious choice. So I gave you a little assignment last week to, through the week, kind of bring your awareness to pay attention to how often during the week, how often during a day can you open to love? Can you allow yourself to experience it? And notice if there's any resistance to that. So how'd it go?
It's fun.
Good. Yeah, good. One person did it.
It went fine sometimes, other times I did notice resistance.
Yes, right. Exactly. There is. And it's good to notice, that's the first step in healing is awareness. We can't heal what we're not aware of. So that's the first thing we want to do. And then we sort of move forward and really embrace this idea that increasing the amount of time that we can move through that and open and allow ourselves to love, that has a cascade of benefits for us in every area. And here's the interesting thing. When we do it, not only is it for us, it has a cascade of benefits for everyone else, for the world. We have an impact. Who we are and where we're coming from has an impact in the world, just in a simple way. When we are being loving, when we are able to open our heart and come from a relaxed, positive, loving state, that puts others at ease. And so if that other person is put at ease, it makes it easier for them to open their heart and be relaxed and positive and loving. So now you got two people who are generating more of this energy, this loving, positive energy is being fired up, is generating and radiating out to the larger circle so that others are put at ease. And it's easier for them to open to this positive, loving energy. And on it goes, like ripples in a pond. Ripples in a pond. We are energetic, vibrational beings. Energy. energetic, vibrational beings. Never think that no one is affected by your thoughts and your energy. We don't live in little silos. Everyone is affected. We are, we're playing in this sort of energetic soup. We're all in this, and we're all creating it together. The universe is energy. Science tells us everything's made up of atoms. All atoms are made up of the same thing, subatomic particles. The same subatomic particles that are vibrating at different rates, right? And the solid form, the three-dimensional form, those subatomic particles are vibrating at a much higher rate, at a faster rate. But there are subatomic particles all over in the unformed energy. And that's just vibrating at a slower rate. But it's all vibration. So it's both this unformed energy, we might call it potential energy. In New Thought, we might call it substance, infinite substance. You've heard that before, right? And then the solid form, energy in form. So how does the unformed energy, the potential energy, become form?
Ideas.
Yes, you got it. Ideas, intention, thoughts, consciousness. On a universal level, that's all of creation. And we are part of that. We are part of that as expressions of this one intelligence, this one life we are creating. We are creative. And so the vibrational energy around us responds to our thoughts, our consciousness, our energy. And so if we're filled with thoughts of fear or lack or limitation or thoughts of separation or competition or judgment, then that vibrates out from us and the universe is responsive. That potential energy begins to show up in our lives as experiences of fear and limitation and separation and judgment. And we do this individually. We do it collectively. We're co-creating this whole experience together in the world. We look around at the world right now and we think, okay. You see, most people are unaware of the content of their consciousness and unaware of the impact that they're making, unaware of the power that they have. And so they go into this default position of the belief of separation. That's the main belief. We're separate from source, separate from each other, separate from our good. Our good is out there. Judgment, fear, beliefs in separation. That's the default position. So we look at the world around us. It feels like we're living in this upside down world right now, where right is wrong and wrong is right and craziness. But we have the power. We can make a decision. Each one of us, the more that our consciousness is filled with loving, positive thoughts, peaceful thoughts, thoughts of oneness. Okay, so the universe, that potential energy is responding to that and creating that in our experience. And it begins to show up in our experience as joy and love and harmony and plenty, not just for us, but for everyone, for the world. Because you see, this vibrates out. Breathe that in for a moment. Really take that idea in. We have the power to turn this ship around. We have the power to turn this ship around. And it all begins with a decision. a decision to choose love, to entertain thoughts of love and oneness and peace and positive energy. And when we do that and act with love, loving intentions, loving actions, and when we do, that vibrates out from us. That has a huge impact in the world. And obviously, the more of us that do this together, the more of an impact it has. All right, so, it's one thing to say this, and for everybody to sit here and go, wow, that sounds about right. And then another thing to actually remember to do this in our everyday life. Because we live in a very seductive world. We get pulled into the energy of judgment and negativity and, limitation. So we need to develop support. We need to build in support. We need to develop practices that bring us back to remembering who we truly are and why we're here. So let's talk about a few of those things. So I just got back from a Unity Ministers retreat in South Carolina. And this is the Unity Ministers of the Mid-Atlantic States. It's our sub-region here. It's a very vibrant group. In fact, it is the most vibrant, active group in the entire U.S. in this area right here. And they're the ones that put on the Kanuga retreat, right? So the ministers gather twice a year. It's usually so far away that I hardly ever go. But when I do, I'm so glad that I go, because you learn so much from each other. We get to share ideas, what's working, what's not working. But more than that, we get together and we support each other and love each other up. We love each other up. No one knows the challenges of ministry like another minister. So we love each other up, and there's this openness, there's this trust, so we can all, be vulnerable and share, learn from each other. And something that somebody said this time, and I've heard this before, but for some reason it just really hit me this time. We're all in this together. We are all in this together. And it just really hit home. It's not just me. I don't have to figure it out myself. None of us has to figure it out ourselves. And it's not I, it's me, it's us. It's us. I get this real feeling of us there. I get this really feeling of us right here, right now. This us. As we're creating this experience together. And when we get together, first of all, we have an impact by sharing these transformational ideas in our respective spiritual communities. And then when we get together, that energy that is growing and being generated there radiates out. You can feel it, radiates out into the place that we are and into that larger community. And, usually the facility that we're at says, you're coming back next year, right? You're going to be here next year? They really like us being there, so you can feel it. So what supportive group do you belong to, or team, or community? And if you don't have one, I highly encourage you to find one and join it. This getting together and with this supportive, understanding, loving group and connecting on a regular basis is so healing for ourselves, and that energy again lifts us up. It's up leveling our consciousness and up-leveling the group consciousness, and up-leveling that vibration that radiates out and has an impact in the collective world. So it's a very powerful thing to do. So this April, we are starting small groups that are going to meet in individual homes. We're going to get together in a relaxed way, have a cup of tea, have discussion. The first one, we're going to start with a book, a regular book study, but the book will be just sort of the impetus for a conversation, for a discussion. So that you'll have that experience of really taking it deep. And they'll also be tied in with the talks on Sunday, so you'll get a chance to really discuss it and take it to a deep level and have that experience of love. We also might later on do watch inspirational videos. You know, there's a lot of wonderful videos out there by New Thought leaders in the field. So we can do that and get inspired and have discussion and again feel that love and take it out. Let it radiate out. So this is happening in April. Come talk to me more if you want to know more about it, and just look for notices about this because we're going to start promoting it probably next month. All right. Secondly, love expands our awareness and our sense of self. And this is practiced in part, one way to do it is by loving prayer. By loving prayer of others. How many of you have heard of metta meditation or loving kindness meditation? Oh, so many of you, yeah. So it has its roots in Buddhism, but you certainly don't have to be Buddhist to practice it. It's this just beautiful expression that comes from the heart, shares love from the heart. First with yourself, you begin with the whole thing is you begin with yourself. You give yourself love first, and then you send it out to a friend or friends. And then you extend it out and send it out to the world at large, to all beings, including those that you may have had some judgments about. You know, all beings, maybe even animal beings, all life on the world. And every time I hear this, it's different words. So you probably have different words than I do, but it doesn't matter, right? It's not the words, it's the intention behind it. So the way I've learned it is, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be free. May my friends be happy, may my friends be peaceful, may my friends be free. And then, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be free. Now, obviously, you want to start that from a place of connected with your highest self, with that expansive self, that expansive sense of oneness, and really sincere. Otherwise, it just sounds like wishful thinking. You know, it doesn't have much of an impact. Might make you feel good, but so you really want to start from that place of centered in the oneness. Centered in that expanded awareness. So we know that Buddha grew up in the Vedic tradition. That's what the area that he grew up in was, you know, that Vedic, that was the culture, the ancient Vedas. And this prayer actually has its origin in the Vedas, in the ancient Vedas. And one of the ministers at the group, who is a Vedic scholar and a Sanskrit scholar, shared this original prayer with us that really is so deep and so powerful. And it goes like this. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and to that freedom for all. And he broke down each word, each Sanskrit word, and when you do that, you sort of really get some insight into the power of this. And this is an invocational mantra. It's not a wish, I wish this. It's an invoking, you're invoking this. So loka means location. Realm, all universes existing now. Samasta, all beings sharing that same location. Sukhi no, centered in happiness and joy, free from suffering. Bhav, B-H-A-V, Bhav, is the divine mood or the state of unified existence. And then onto, the last syllable, is may it be so. Sounds like and so it is, right? That's what makes it this invocation. So let's say it together, and you can repeat after me. Loka,
Loka,
samasta,
samasta,
sukhino,
sukhino,
bhavantu.
bhavantu.
One more time. Loka,
Loka,
samasta,
samasta,
sukhino,
sukhino,
bhavantu.
bhavantu.
Breathe that in. Just feeling that expansive self that you are, vibrating out, inclusive of all beings. We're sharing the same infinite universe. And all are in this energy of peace and love and freedom. On to. So it is.